It's Chris, and this is PMFM. I'm shooting the intro over here because I didn't get it right the first time. And that's 2 videos in a row where I was so tired in the past that I felt like I needed to lie down to record a video. That's intense. It's also, you may have noticed, I was wearing shorts in that video, and I think 2 past videos ago, I was recording at school and there was a sound in the background because I had a fan running. Man, that's not where I'm at right now this year. It is still very, very cold. It's starting to get to the point where I don't have to wear like a sweater and a coat. I can wear just one or the other usually, but boy, it hasn't gotten above like 55. Definitely no need to wear shorts. I have been happy that like it's gotten to the point with the weather where I can cook and I can open the window and not feel like I'm letting all the heat out and ruining the house. If it starts to get smoky, I can turn on the fan and open a window and feel like that's an okay thing to do. I want to show you the cuddle puddle today because it has evolved over time. So the first thing you'll notice is just a bunch of stuff in the way now. I've got a bookshelf out here, which I actually really like having here. That came from school. That was something that I was storing at school, and it's filled with just books that I had for middle schoolers. Catching Fire, Hitchhiker's Guide, The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pans, but also a lot of Lauren storage. We haven't used the cuddle puddle itself in a while, but what we have started using is this. We've taken the other spot where we were storing things in the past, and we've turned it into our puzzle area. And so this is a puzzle that we've already finished, and you'll see it's called the world's most difficult jigsaw puzzle. Why is it so difficult? The 529-piece puzzle is double-sided. So what that means is that when you take a piece and you pick it up, it's got one design on one side and a completely different design on the other, so that as you're solving the puzzle, you have to figure out which side you're supposed to be putting it on, depending on which side you've already placed pieces down on. You'll also notice each puzzle piece is almost exactly the same. There's no weird shapes, they're all just a square with 2 holes and 2 pegs. And that's it. That was an incredibly difficult puzzle to solve. But what we've started doing is Lauren and I, we set up these date nights. And we work on solving a puzzle. And when we're done, we take a Polaroid picture of ourselves and we put it back in the box. And we donate it, because we get all our puzzles from Goodwill. And then we donate them back to Goodwill. I also kind of have a new, not a cuddle puddle, but a new station in my house, which is this little pillow. And it's a really nice pillow just to sit on. And so when company's over, I can just sit down on this little pillow. And there's a seat here, there's a seat at Lauren's desk, and we can actually hang out, because we haven't really had a spot where we can just sit and hang out. And so when Joe comes over, this has become the spot to sit and do our weird mystical stuff. We just did a tarot reading together this last Sunday, which was really fun, and a really cool way for us just to hang out. We're trying to make places in our house where we can just hang out. So Lauren and I have, in the last 6 months to a year, really put a lot of energy into trying to set up dates between us. I am someone who, most of my relationships have been at least a little bit of a distance relationship. Lauren's the first girlfriend I've ever lived with. I am not even used to being in the same city as the person that I'm dating, to be perfectly honest. And so the idea that we're together every day, it's easy to fall into some habits. And, I'm not saying anything new. Most people who've been in a really committed relationship know this. It's really easy to be around each other but not really doing anything together. And because we're in an open relationship, it means that we see each other going on dates and doing these fun, cool things with other people and realizing, oh, we're not really doing a lot of fun, cool things together. We just hang out, watch TV shows, go to craft fairs, and occasionally we do fun, cool things. But there was a definite period where I was doing a lot of cool things with Lucian last year and not really doing much with Lauren. And so we set up these things that we can do together. Puzzling was a very specific one that specifically got set up to replace us going out to bars, because I really like going out to a bar with Lauren because it forces me to actually sit down and just talk with no other real distractions. And I like that a lot because it makes us have conversations that we wouldn't have otherwise found ourselves having, because we were just forced to, for an hour or so, just talk. And if we don't have something forcing us to do that, we might not. We'll, catch up when whoever is last to come home gets home, but we'll just talk about that day. We won't have a long discussion. And so once we've run out of, hey, what happened today, we stop talking. But when we go out and do something where nothing else is going on, that's when really interesting conversations about like our past, about just things we've been thinking about come up. And honestly, doing the PMFM project has meant that I spend a lot of time talking to a camera, voicing thoughts that I then don't voice to anyone around me, which is something I've realized about halfway through the project last year, and I'm trying to get better at, but it is something I have to work on. Future me, what new dates are you going on regularly? What's a new thing that's happening on a somewhat regular basis? Or maybe something you've stopped doing that you started doing again. Lauren and I don't go antiquing very much anymore. We used to do that all the time. Is there something that you stopped doing that you started doing again?